Welcome to Network Africa. Coming up on the program. Nigerian troops showcase their dancing skills as the Chief of Army Staff visits Borno State. Ban Ki-moon outlines plans after his term as UN Secretary General ends. And Somali youth share ideas on how to tackle gender-based violence. Welcome, I'm Joke Rogers. Excited Nigerian troops showed off their dance skills as they welcomed the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, and the Governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, to Damasak. General Buratai, while addressing the troops, insists that Sambisa Forest is now under the control of the Nigerian Army. In the new year, the Army is working out modalities to take complete possession of the vast forest, which served as the headquarters for Boko Haram terrorists.
Jubilant troops of the Nigerian Army in Damasak, a border town in Mobara local government area of Borno State. In a gleeful mood, they flaunt their fitness after the capture of the Sambisa Forest, the former enclave of the defeated Boko Haram insurgents. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, and other military officers are present to celebrate with the troops. And then, the Chief of Army Staff, accompanied by the chairman of the local government, light the campfire. But what next for Sambisa Forest after this liberation? Lieutenant General Buratai reveals the plans for the forest.
The last enclave of the Boko Haram terrorists in the Sambisa Forest has been cleared, and our troops are conducting the exploitation and the mop-up of that forest. We are also opening up roads into the forest, as well as the forest around Alagarno. This Sambisa Forest is going to be one of our training grounds. Next year, 2017, I have already directed that we are going to conduct our Nigerian Army Small Arms Championship in that forest.
For the residents of Damasak and the civilian JTF, the liberation of the town is worth celebrating as they reveal their ordeal.
2014, around 9 in the morning, everybody was just running helter-skelter for his life. And as I'm talking to you now, I spent 5 solid days inside poultry room. The effort of the military brought both the armies and the civilian JTF who are now based in Damasak.
We gave our people, who we selected as informants, and asked them to call anytime there is something going on. And we are spread everywhere. When we see strangers in our midst, we interrogate them, and if we are not satisfied, we hand them over to the army.
And at sunrise, the state government and the Ministry of Defense gather to open up the Maiduguri-Gubbio-Damasak road 3 years after it was captured by the insurgents.
Unfortunately, some international organizations are renting houses in Maiduguri for 5 years, thinking that this madness will continue for the next 5 years. This madness is coming to an end, and by the grace of God, our people are going back to their home.
The Damasak road was closed by the military following the activities of Boko Haram since 2014. The insurgents are taking over population centers of most local government areas along Damasak. Hopeful residents of Damasak, who are mainly farmers, can now live in their community without fear.
Well, let's get more on the recapturing of Sambisa Forest from a research fellow, Professor Charles Dokubo, who joins us live on the program. You're welcome, Professor.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Right, recapturing Sambisa Forest is a big deal for Nigeria and the troops. But what do you think should be the next step for the military to protect Sambisa Forest from being hijacked again?
The forest has been one of the most difficult areas for the Nigerian military to intervene, go inside. That the competition without all the concert, the local unit, the Nigerian military have done very good in the containment and the capture of the forest. I strongly believe that this is the process of the action occupied by the Boko Haram. I would believe that with time everything is stabilized.
What's the significance of the Chief of Army Staff's visit to the troops in Borno State?
It's supposed to give them provide morale for the troops and also let them know the task before them. So I think for him also, it has been one of the something brought to the attainment of a lot of areas that Boko Haram captured people to the end of the. So for him also, it's something that is the forest has been talking and the Boko Haram has been flushed out. Now we take to calculate where they're going to run.
Professor, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the recapture of Sambisa Forest by Nigerian troops working there. Let's move on to other stories now. The state of Nigeria's economy, the business environment, and the daily living of the people were key discussions for Nigerians in 2016. Well, in this report, Channel's business editor, Bosun Omofaye, captures some of the socio-economic highlights of the first full year of Buhari's administration.
It is a year Nigeria and Nigerians will not forget in a hurry. It was the first time since post-Civil War of 1970 that the economy ran into a recession, the foreign exchange market melted, and the people looked desperately to the Buhari's administration for answers and solutions. The outgoing year took off on a troubled note, no thanks to the various controversies surrounding the new budget and a spate of militant attacks on oil facilities in the Niger Delta. By the end of